This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. Yeah, I'm coming back from Costco, but a different Costco this time. I thought I'd switch it up. Try a different one. So I was thinking about the appointment yesterday at the ophthalmologist. Remember that? Yeah, I got there early. Took a while, actually. Took about, I would say 10 minutes past at least 10 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes past my appointment time before I got seen. Before you don't get to see the ophthalmologist right away, the technicians who do all their stuff. So their job was to, take the measurements, do everything for your glasses, prescription, all that stuff. Dilate your eyes, all that. Then the doctor comes in, spends maybe 5 minutes with you, maybe if you're lucky. She looks at the results of what they did and says, yeah, you look okay, everything looks fine. Then she leaves. That's it. Obviously, she makes more money than they do. They work for her. But it made me wonder, who's doing all the actual hard work here? In this particular case, it would be the others. Yeah. I'm sure the doctor does certain things that, more important eye issues for other patients. But for me, no, I barely even saw her. Makes me wonder, why do I even bother to go, So anyway, but that's not the reason I'm talking today. And the reason I'm talking today, a cop pulled somebody over, is the experience coming in the door. Yeah. So usually when you go into places like that, you have some type of reception person, right? So, your first impression of any place that you go to comes from the reception person. Think about that. So how did she greet me? What's your last name? No hello, no nothing, Just what's your last name? Have a seat. They'll get to you. I go, okay, well, that was friendly. This is not uncommon. I see this a lot of places where they don't really treat you very well when you walk in the door. So I thought, well, okay, maybe she just did it to me. No, she was doing it to the others too, as other people come in. I think businesses, whether you're an ophthalmologist, a doctor's office, a restaurant or whatever, the reception person's kind of critical. It really sets the tone of how you're going to be treated there. You kind of get a feeling for that, right? What I think she should have done was probably say, good morning, how are you? How can I help you today? Something like that, And then I would just say, I'm here for my appointment with the doctor. Okay, what's your last name? Take the last name. Okay, she'll be right with you. And then please have a seat. Something to that effect, right? I always look at these things, and I'm always analyzing how you're treated at the different places that you go to. Yeah, I think they could use a little bit of help there. Yeah, and they send you a survey, after you're done. They email you a survey. How did we do? That type of thing. I was so tempted to, let me pick this up. I got the Kleenex box sliding around on the floor over there. I was so tempted to say, you need to train your receptionist better. I really did, but I felt that if I did that, I would probably put her job in jeopardy, so I didn't do it. But I really do feel sometimes I want to do stuff like that. I just want to tell them, look, a little bit of friendliness goes a long way. Yeah, okay, now I'm not just going to complain about her. Let me tell you about some other places, too, that I've noticed. Go to any Chinese restaurant, okay? Okay, now I shouldn't say any. Go to a Chinese restaurant, and you'll find that a lot of times the wait staff aren't the friendliest. All right, are you picking on Chinese restaurants? Yeah, kind of. Because, I've been to many Chinese restaurants over my time. And if you go to an authentic Chinese restaurant, okay, I'm not just saying just any, but, a really authentic one. You go to Chinatown or something like that, you know, you never really even get much of a hello. They'll just come up and say, well, okay, what do you want? They'll take your order, okay, and then when they come and give you the food, they just kind of slap it in front of you. No thank you, no nothing, no explanation of anything. They're just straight to business. And this is very typical of many of the Chinese restaurants, because they do it even in Hong Kong and they do it in other places too. I think they're just used to doing it that way. I mean, to them, that is the norm. But at least to me, here in the United States, at least, a little bit of friendliness goes a long way. Yeah. There are places I've gone to, retail shops, where I kind of feel like, I really want to train these people to be better. Yeah. People have said to me before in the past, because I've had many sales positions over my time, besides doing the things that I have done. I've taken a lot of sales positions too when I came back, from San Diego, as I'm, trying to get myself settled and decide what I'm going to do going forward, before I became, the wedding photographer and the photography instructor, and now YouTube and all that. I took a lot of sales jobs, and every time I took those jobs, I was among their top producers for sales. Yeah, one company, I won't tell you the name of the company, but let's put it this way, it's a huge company, okay? Yeah, I became their senior account executive in 3 months, and they told me it takes typically 5 years to get there. So how did I get it in 3 months? Well, they saw the things that I did. They saw the things that I implemented. I even customized a software to use for the sales and the like. And I kind of customized the fields and everything. It was a database, so that I could keep track of things and create my contracts and everything like that for the things that we did and everything. And the supervisor said, wow, this is really good. And I said, no, it's just, I told him, I said, it's just a software that I had used at another company and I got really good at it, and I just customized it and put our contracts in it and everything, and it automatically fills it out and everything for me. So he wanted me to do that for the others, and then he started to see that I was closing on some deals that he says, maybe you can train these other guys to do better. So I was kind of a sales trainer for them, as well as being an account executive for them. And I think I told you guys before too, maybe when I was on the Russ's Right channel, that I took another position. It was for a computer software company, became their top sales guy in a couple of months as well. And I had very little training at all in computer software sales. So, yeah, I think it's just attitude, really, of how you approach things and doing things a little bit differently. If you find, what they tell you is not exactly right, and maybe you modify it a little bit to fit your personality, then you do well, right? Yeah, so I started helping the other guys as well. But when I go to these other places, especially retail places, and I see the way that they interact with customers, there's part of me says, look, let me tell you how you should do it, all right? Because it goes a long way if you interact with people better, right? Sometimes I don't think they know. Maybe they don't do it on purpose. They just don't know any better. So I think there's something to be said with that. Now, somebody told me once before, way, way, way early in the Russ's Right channel, when I was trying to decide what I should do, he says, you should just do some sales training for people. Teach people some of the things that you've learned about, how they should react to this, or how they should interact with customers, that type of thing. I says, well, yeah, okay, well, there's people who get paid specifically to do that. They go into companies and then they train you, But anyway, that's what I was thinking about yesterday. Having the very little bit of interaction I had with the receptionist. I think she could have done a little bit better than that. Well, let me know too. Have you run into this situation at different places where you kind of look at this and you go, really? This is how you treat people? Or this is how you interact with your customers? Let me know what your situations have been. What have you seen? I'm sure you've seen it, because I think everybody has run into situations like that where you kind of look at it and go, they could have done better, or if they were a little friendlier, maybe I would have left them a bigger tip. that type of thing, Speaking of tips, what do you think of tips? I'm not a fan of tipping. I'm not that I'm a cheap tipper. I'm just saying that I'm not a fan that today everyone seems to be asking for a tip. Okay, we got to take a swig of this thing. Oh man, Diet Pepsi. Yeah, I didn't have any quarters with me either. It was a last minute decision to go out and get something to eat. So anyway, yeah, it just bothers me when I see this is how things are, Tipping, it's like, even like going to a McDonald's and then I have not seen this, but I've heard, they have a thing on the receipt, how much do you want to give a tip? 0. I think McDonald's should pay those guys. I don't think I should pay them. I'm paying a lot, for whatever. I haven't gone to a McDonald's in a long time. I'm just using it as an example. But you know what I mean. Where you see the thing, it just asking you how much would you like to add the tip on there. And how do I know what I want to give as a tip? If your service is good, I might give you a higher tip. If your service is bad, I might not give you any tip. All right? But when they give it to you, like right before you even get your food, and it says, how much would you like to tip us? I get offended by that. What do you think? Yeah, isn't a tip something like, okay, you did a good job, let me give you some extra money? How do I know that you did a good job before I even got my stuff yet, right? And in a fast food place, do you feel that you should tip them? I don't think so. At least I think tipping might be something like, it's service, right? Okay, isn't that part of their job to give me the food from the counter? They go to the counter to grab the thing, they hand it to me. Isn't that part of their job? Why do I need to tip them? I think the establishment should pay them. Now, at a restaurant, I might want to say that the tipping might be appropriate because, if the person comes back many times to fill my cup of water, or checks up on me, or brings me something extra, or takes my plates away, that type of thing, then I think giving a tip would be appropriate. But other times, no, I don't think so. I think they should just pay these people a little bit more money, and not ask me for the tip to pay them. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. All right. Tell me what you think about tipping too. So here's your things for today. Tell me what you think about tipping. Tell me what you think about your interactions with retail people or other service type oriented people. Are you treated well? Do they need training? Could they have done better? Give me some situations. Let me know what you've experienced. I don't think I'm the only one. I'm sure others have seen this happen to them as well. So that's all I got for you guys for today. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll talk more about these various situations every now and then. If I see things, it's a sounding board. You guys are a sounding board for me, so I can express my thoughts on the topic, and then you can come back and tell me if I'm right or wrong. But Russ is always right. I told you guys that. Talk to you guys next time.